Hello, welcome back to Bridging the Gap. We're here with, first of all, the new Vice President of the Salisbury City Council, Miss April Jackson. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes. How does that feel?
It feels no different. I feel no different. As I said before, it doesn't take a title for you to do what you do. So it's before I became a vice president, I was April. And I served the people. So
you definitely are a servant of the people. And I was able to actually connect with this other young lady over here because I noticed that you actually had a picture of her, Miss Bernadette Cannady. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Now, from what I see, you're interested in, you're running for District 1 for the county council seat.
Yes.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about you yourself?
Okay. I am a resident of course, of Wycomico County, but I've lived here all my life. The area that I live in is the community of San Domingo.
Ooh, I've heard of that place.
And that's been right, and that's been home for me. I left here, of course, to go off to college. Came back and started working for the Wycomico Public Library. And I'm a recent retiree of the library system, yes.
Okay.
When
How
I
many
left
years?
there. I would just say it was a little over 30 years.
Okay.
So you've met a lot of people in those 30 years.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of faces have walked through there, and we treated them just everybody as equals.
Awesome.
The whole time I was there.
Awesome. Okay. Now, San Domingo, you and I kind of share something. You have a school there that actually yours is restored. It was a Roswell building.
Yeah, the Rosenwald School.
Rosenwald, yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's a Rosenwald school that has had national attention. The John Quinton Foundation headed up restoration of that school, and through grants and state grants, a little pocket of this, a little pocket of that, and the school has been restored.
Wow.
And you can visit the school. It's beautiful, and it's I call it one of District 1's little secrets. I keep reminding people that we're there. You can come and visit anytime you like. Just let me know.
And thank you. Now, when we initially spoke, I told you that I'm from Weetipquin.
Yes.
And we also have one of those Rosenwald schools there, but ours isn't restored.
Right.
Wow. But you were aware of that school.
Yes. There are many Rosenwald schools. You would be surprised. In this area and around the state of Maryland. There's one in the Berlin area. There is one in the Delmar area.
Okay.
But there are many that and just like our community, when we started restoring it, we had to learn about the Rosenwald, the history.
Yes, I was about to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about the Rosenwald?
Right. We had to learn about that history. Growing up, it's one of these issues where, of course, that type of Black history was not taught in the school. As a matter of fact, my brother, we had a gentleman come down just to look at the school and to do some work on the school. And he just stated to my brother at the time, he says, I think this is a Rosenwald school. And of course, we were like, what's a Rosenwald school? And a Rosenwald school, and I will say to ones who don't know, Sears and Roebuck?
Yes.
Okay, we all remember Sears and Roebuck?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Julius Rosenwald was the owner of, that large company.
Wow.
Between him and Booker, and I'm really paraphrasing now.
That's okay.
But he and Booker T. Washington went around the country building schools so that African Americans could have a clean, good education.
Okay.
And there goes that name, Rosenwald Schools. And they're all across the country. all across the U.S.
Wow. But not all of them get the attention they need to, like you did in San Domingo.
Exactly, because, and of course, that was during segregation. And when integration happened, now, like the school in our community, it went back. It was no longer under the Board of Education. The community bought it back for minimal, believe me, minimal amount. And so it became a community center.
Yep.
And, thank goodness to our forefathers, they had the mind to preserve it and keep it up.
Right.
And make sure that it was, water was running, everything was kept so that the so it could be a use to the community.
Yep, and I know with growing up, thank you. My early learning, we called it the day school or daycare center. There's actually a young lady that she's 91 years old. You actually probably saw I was at a funeral for someone in her family, Rosalie Maddox. She was my daycare mother.
Yes.
But we spent our early childhood in that place. And man, I'll never forget that building. I'll
Yes.
never forget the history that we've learned in there.
Yes.
Your dad actually had a lot to do with the minority district being set up, am I correct?
Yes. Back in 80, I want to say 82, 80, no, it could be 82. I just moved back here probably in 84, 85. My father, because we weren't able to get a minority in the office, or, because District 1, we didn't have it, we weren't set up in a proper district in the area. And the way we were district is there was no way we could get an African American in there. No possible way. So what he did was he went to the state and he brought about a suit to rezone, redistrict, so we would have a district to have an African American represented. And he won that. And that was a proud moment for me.
I can tell.
I mean, because he worked hard. He worked really hard to get that done. And yet and still a lot of people who, when he did it, a lot of people who were supposedly behind his helping him were not. They were like afraid that something would happen,
Repercussion.
behind it, or somebody would try to do something to them or him.
Right,
But my father
right.
just, he reminded me so much of Dr. Martin Luther King. He was like, I've got to do this.
Wow,
This has to
wow.
be done, or we will never, himself and Rudy Kane, Orville Penn, Leo McNeil, I'm trying to remember
Was
some
Ed
more.
Taylor part of that too?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They had an organization called New Directions
Okay.
for social and political change. I was a part of that, but I was doing my own thing and trying to be a part of something at the same time. But I can remember when they would go out and register people to vote, and we were all the way up in Log Cabin Road and all, like you say, in San Domingo and all those places registering people to vote.
Wow.
And I was
Wow.
maybe like 10 or 11 years old. I was out there registering people to vote at that particular time and seeing that how many people there were actually, illiterate and didn't know how to write their own names and stuff. And it kind of
Wow.
touched my heart.
Absolutely.
So I try to do, when I go around to campaign, I always make sure that I register people to vote. Always. I either give them an absentee ballot or not an absentee ballot, a mail-in ballot or
Sure.
whatever, but I always try to make sure that people are aware and that they are voting and that they know how to register.
Sure.
I don't persuade them with a party or anything because we're not allowed to do that.
Right,
But I
right.
make sure they are registered voters, because you could be surprised how many people aren't. And my father embedded that in me.
Sure.
He embedded that in me. He and Rudy Kane and Orville Penn. I can remember the day that Orville Penn, and it was an organization. It wasn't New Directions, and they had us over here to this building next to Exxon on 50. Was that the Lighthouse? It was a restaurant.
Yeah, it was Lighthouse
And
Diner or something.
this is
I
where
think.
Cherie Sample Hughes and myself
Yes.
became acclimated in politics.
Wow.
Because they asked us, would you like to do politics? And I said, yeah. And they said, Cherie said yes. And we sat there and we had a discussion, and we had people from across the bridge come and talk to us about, being a candidate. And it was like maybe, I want to say, it was some years later when I did it. And I told you about the story, that encounter that I had. So it was around that time that I had come about to do it. Now, Cherie a lot sooner than myself, but it was mine was a little later. I had to see some things and had to learn some things, and I was a member of a commissioner for Wycomico County Parks and Recreation, and that kind of steered me into the politicking of it, and not only the politicking, but coming in with people, because you have to have people like mine. You have to have people that you can work with, and you also have to network, and you also have to have people who encourage you to do these things. And being around those people, even the commissioners, I learned a lot.
Sure.
Even with my father and former delegate Rudy Kane, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from each and every one of those men that were out there in the light, trying to pave a way for us here in the city of Salisbury, and right down to Reverend Mills at First Baptist. I can remember his lineage and how he did things too. I mean, so I had a lot of stuff that transpired me to do what I'm doing today.
Sure, and I'm pretty sure when those forefathers worked on that, they wanted to make sure that there was going to be a leader that's going to stand up for the people in that district.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they what they did was they would find somebody to run in that district that they knew that would be about their business, and not just about their business, but be for the people. Not just for the African American and so much more, yes, but then for the people. And that's what we have to realize. We have to be for the people.
Yes.
The party affiliations now at this time is ludicrous. It's just like it's the worst
Both sides.
I've ever seen in my life. And I was always a Democrat from a very. I registered at 17 years old, and I've been a Democrat. But in my heart, I'm a people person. I'm just for the people. Yeah, in my heart. It doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat. I'm for what's right.
And you do a great job.
Thank you.
You really
Yes.
do. You really do. Now, what made you want to run?
Once again, it's to represent the residents of District 1. It comes a time when you're sitting in your living room watching TV, and you're the last one to know that something is get ready to happen down your street.
Don't you hate that?
Yes, I do. And that is one of the biggest reasons that I said, okay, I'm going to seek this office, because the citizens, the residents of District 1 need to know what is going on before it hits them.
Sure.
And that's what I want to do. I want to be the voice for the community. I sort of have already tried to make sure that the community, especially my own community of San Domingo, make sure that they know what's going on. But with District 1, and that's the issue, one of the issues I feel with District 1, I want to represent the whole community. The whole of District 1. Okay. District 1 bumps right against the Mason-Dixon line. It goes all the way down to, of course, it doesn't include any municipalities. All the municipalities bump up against District 1.
Okay.
But we want to make sure, I want to make sure that the residents know exactly what is going on before they see it on TV. I want to make them aware. And also to get them active, to also communicate to them that, we have to do this fight together. Depending on what needs and services you want, I'm there. I will be open to listen. And, that's a big thing, is communication. Communication and listening.
Absolutely.
Listening. It's not about what Bernadette wants. It's about what they need
like
in their
that.
community.
I like that. I heard a minister say that a lot of times we forget that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we need to listen twice as much as we speak. Now, one great thing I have seen with Councilwoman Jackson is she's been able to work with the mayor, not saying they always agree.
Right.
And him being a Republican, and as she says she's a Democrat, she can look past that because, again, it's about doing the work for the people.
Right.
So my question is a lot of, we've seen on the county side is a lot of fighting.
Yes.
You know, I've been really working in politics as far as, Mark Thompson liked to call me the agitator because I like to sit down and ask the hard questions and find out what's up, you know? But I've seen the fact that we've had so much bickering, so much not getting along that nothing gets done. So let me ask you a question. Would you have a problem sitting down with those across the aisle? I mean, and here's another thing I want to say before you answer that is, it's been an inherited battle within the county between the council and the executive. Have you thought of you seen one time they've gotten along? I mean, I'm not just this one. I mean, since they've had the executive form of government.
No, but I kind of understand some things about that. And that's what we have to, as a people, understand. There's a woman in charge, okay? Not many men like that, okay? Not many men like women being in charge, okay? And I understand the part of, just like Ms. Cannady said, when you're doing something, you never make it a secret. You bring it forth to your council. You bring it to the body so the body knows before somebody else knows. You know, nothing is secret. Transparency is the vital part of even the city and the county. When you don't have transparency between your leader and your council, when you don't have true transparency between the mayor and his council, there is a problem there. You know, and it creates a problem because then we're not on the same page. So that's where the problem comes in. Nobody's on the same page. If I were, I'm going to just say, if I were the county executive, my thing would be to have a meeting, bring us all to the table, and discuss what my next thing that I'm going to do, and see if they approve of it. It doesn't take, a rocket science to figure some of these things out that people are making so hard. You know, I mean, if you call me, if I call you and say, okay, Councilwoman candidacy, could you do, this is what I'm thinking about doing. How do you feel about it? Okay, I don't like it. Go to the next one. I don't like it. Go to the next one. Well, I like it. And you weigh your pros and your cons by how many like it, how many don't, and then you step from there. Well, I've got the majority that says they like it. You know, but when we don't do these kind of things, this is where.
So you're saying more one-on-ones they need to have, more sit-downs.
More sit-down and discussions about what the next step. The next step. I mean, that's even in a household. You can't run a household and not connect with your family.
Right.
And at that time, the councils are the family. We're supposed to be one big happy family. And I even see it going on in our city council. Now, not with so much as the mayor as it is, because the mayor does talk. He does. I can honestly say he communicates with me and some others. Two of them you can't communicate. They're hard to communicate with because they don't like the mayor from the very beginning. He was very disrespected in the very beginning. So I can understand how he feels, but we still must cross that bridge. That bridge still has to be crossed. Whether they like what he says or not, or whether they like his ideal, that bridge has to be crossed. Okay? Now, here we have... I can't speak for John Cannon. I've been knowing John for a while. John's, to me, has been a pretty good president, as far as I know. Our president that we have now, it's kind of hard because she's trying to do the administrative part and the council part, the president part, and you can't do that. You can't cross lines. You can't take the administrative part and bring it to the council because you're not the
So
administrator.
you're saying that so you're saying that the council president right now is trying to do an executive role
Yeah.
and a legislative.
And you can't do
We've
that.
seen that.
You've crossed the line. Some things are just not yours to do. And you can't do but one thing at a time.
Right, that's
And
true.
you were voted in to be the
Doing
president. Be the president. Do the president's job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to do the mayor's job or the executive or the administrator's jobs or the mayor's
Stay
job.
in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Now, so thank you. So, would you be willing to have those sit downs, and maybe even in this part of your what you're doing with the executive and with other council people?
Oh, absolutely. Communication. I can't speak. I cannot
That's okay.
say more about communication. You've got to communicate. We can't do this by ourselves. I have no magic wand that I'm going to bring with me that's going to solve every problem in the county, but it takes communication. I'm going to bring to them what the needs are of the residents of District 1. I represent District 1. I am there for District 1. I need to talk to you. I
like
need
that.
to talk to you. And you're right. We're not going to agree on everything. We're not going to agree on everything. But as long as you are looking at the needs of the residents of the county, it's just like now. I'm a resident. We've got this impending storm. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, like I said, I live in the western part of the county. Excuse me. Now, they are calling for snow. They're calling for ice. And the first thought on my mind is, okay, am I going to see a salt truck or any type of utility truck come in my area?
Right.
And believe me, I'm going to have my curtains wide open and watching.
Sure.
Because that's what the residents need. They're taxpayers.
I like
there are
that thought.
families there. There are children there. Now, me, I'm a retired but my next door neighbor's got to go to work.
But even a retired person, see, you still need to know what's going on.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, because you may need an evacuation
Yes.
plan or anything like that.
Yes.
So you feel like what you would like to see is more proactive communication.
Yes, right. It's right, and again, it's the transparency. It's letting each resident know what's going on.
So
why keep it a big secret?
So has there been any town halls within the last 8 years from any council person in District 1? Like, you've been in District 1, how long have you been living in District 1?
All my life.
So how many town halls have you seen from any of the leaders?
We have not from the county.
None from the county?
Now,
Okay.
our delegate has been there.
Okay.
And believe me, because my son is her number one fan club, and he will call me and say, "Mom, Cherie," and that's what he calls her. He says, "Mom, Cherie is going to be in Hebron at such and such a date." I said, "Thank you, Jamal." And he is he is also a disabled resident of Wicomico County, and that's another. A section of the community that we need to think about. You're right. People with disabilities and how are they surviving in this county environment? But no town halls.
Okay, because one of the things that, again, I'm from Weetipwin, which is down Nanticoke Road, which I'm on the west side of the county, too. That's where I'm from. One of the things that got me involved with even speaking to elected officials is the fact of Miss Rosalie Maddox, being 91 years old, I rode by her house on Royal Oak Road, and the ditch was so packed up, and like when it would rain, her yard would be flooded.
Right.
God forbid they would ever have to have an emergency vehicle up in there.
Exactly.
So, and a lot of times these people don't get out to be able to go to a council meeting, so
Right.
are they actually visited?
But you need to bring it to them.
Right.
I tell people all the time. the events that I do, they're my town halls. Because I get to reach the people.
Yes.
You don't necessarily have to have a town hall because all people need to do is see you. There's other way of communicating the things that are being done or the things that they want to see done in the community. But being a viable, productive candidate and public servant is being in the community, giving back. Because when you give them, they give back
She
to
does
you.
that.
They pour.
Yes.
They pour,
I
into
see
you.
it. I see it.
They pour into you. And I told the city council members the other week, when I was saying the spiel about, I don't need a title to be who I am. I was born April and I'll always be April. But in order for you, they're talking about town halls. I said, town halls for what? You're only going to get like 5 or 6 people to come there. I said, Cherie Sample Hughes is a delegate, and the most she might get is 10 or 15. I said, and that's what we get. I mean, and it's good because you can say, I gave you this information, but it's also good to tap into your people because there's a great need. Like we do that senior citizen Christmas dinner.
Yes.
Let me say something to you. That's how I reach my seniors. I go to their developments, but I also give back to them from my heart. Not only do I give back to them, the community gives back to them because there are other people from different entities, different avenues, different businesses,
Agencies.
organizations, that come in and help with this. So it's not about
We're
April.
better together.
Yeah.
It's not about April. It's about us all coming together, but those are my town halls.
And you also do lives.
Yeah.
You also do, bless her heart, you might only have it on the curtain until she figures it out and get it back on her, but she will still have that live.
I said, somebody probably said, she's in the same spot she
I
was
love
sitting
it.
in
I love
last
it.
week.
I love it. I tell my wife, I'm like, April's on again.
Yeah, I do. I love it, because, and I used to not like lives. I couldn't stand them, but then I said, let me try this and try to reach people, and try to talk and tell them things that are going on in the community, in the district, in the city, in my life, for real, because I tell people today, I am not perfect.
You're very transparent.
I am not perfect, and I don't portray to be perfect. I just try to be the person when you need me, I'm there. That's what I tried to be.
Yes.
Action Jackson.
Right.
Well, that was my first candidate. When I was first running for office,
Look at that.
That was my thing, Action
Look
Jackson.
at that. Look at that.
But you know what?
Wow.
I mean, it's a blessing to be in this seat. As though some people can say it's a curse. But it's a blessing to be in this seat because I can see where I'm helping.
And you're a good role model for so many. So many.
Yes.
I try to be.
I'm hoping that you two are going to link up, and because she's really good. She's really good. And
I'm sure, and it's the visibility that you talk about, and that's what the residents, they need to see you. They need, if it's nothing but, like you said, a listening session, or just walking through the neighborhood, and that includes, and once again, it includes all of District 1, not just this little bit up here. You got to reach, everybody may have different problems in that district. You got to reach them all. You got to reach everybody.
And I think there are some people that have some problems with some DAF tanks or be like, this is the person that we need to talk to. I'm just excited to ask these questions. Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.